Hello everyone, welcome to AriaFest 2, the second performance of the 2021 season here at the Rowan Opera Company at Rowan University in Glassboro, New Jersey. My name is Marian Stieber, I'm the director of the Opera Company, and I'll be joined this evening by my co-host and colleague, Mr. Jon Garrison. The students have each been assigned an aria for the semester, and they've learned their pieces virtually and have come to the theater to record them on March 19th and 20th, and ready to present them now to you this evening. As you have gotten your link, I'm sure that you also were sent a program so you can learn some more about our artists tonight, and also the translation of all of the pieces that we'll be performing this evening. So I hope you'll follow along. Let's get started with our first aria. This is from Der Freischütz by Carl Maria von Weber. It's an early German romantic opera, and this is the first time I've actually programmed this aria in 22 years, so I guess you would say it's a premiere for Rowan University. This is a scene in which Ännchen is talking to her cousin Agatha. Agatha is fretting over the fact that she may not get to marry Max, the free shooter, Der Freischütz, and Agatha is worried that if things don't change, she might not get to marry him at all. So Ännchen is trying to cheer her up and give her an idea of how she might attract a bridegroom. She says, a Blickchen hin und Blick herüber, a little glance here, a little glance there, and bald heißt Bräutigam und Braut. Soon you're going to be bride and bridegroom. So let's enjoy Hope Friddell, a sophomore music education major, sing Kommt ein schlanker Busch gegangen from Der Freischütz.
Kommt ein schlanker Busch gegangen, auf am Bucken nur der Braun. Von Tag und Brot von Wangen, ein nach dem kann man wohl schauen, ein nach dem kann man wohl schauen, ein nach dem kann man wohl schauen. Zwar schlägt man das Auge aus Bieder, noch verschämter Märchenart, doch verstohlen hebt man's wieder, wenn's das Herzchen nicht gewahrt. Doch verstohlen hebt man's wieder, wenn's das Herzchen nicht gewahrt, es nicht gewahrt, es nicht gewahrt. Sollten ja sich Blicke finden, nun was hat auch das für Not? Man wird drum nicht gleich der Blinden, wird man auch ein wenig rot, ein wenig rot, ein wenig rot. Blick schön und Blick herüber, bis der Mund sich doch was traut. So ich schönste, sie ist frisch lieber, bald heißt Bräutigam und Brot, bald heißt Bräutigam und Brot, Bräutigam und Brot. Liebe Leutchen, wollt ihr mir bekrönt sie sehen? Geld, das ist ein nettes Bräuchen, und der Busch nicht minder schön, und der Busch nicht minder schön, und der
Good evening. My name is Jon Garrison. I'm the co-director of the Opera Company, and we're pleased to bring AriaFest 2, or son of AriaFest, to you. The next aria comes from Aaron Copland's The Tenderland. In the early 50s, Copland read James Agee's Let Us Now Praise Famous Men, which is a book about 4 tenant farmer families in the South with evocative, wonderful photographs by Walker Evans. This inspired him to write The Tenderland about a family in the Midwest and their community during the Great Depression. The oldest daughter in this family is Lori. She is going to graduate from high school tomorrow. She stands by the picket fence in front of her family's house and says, "Once I thought I'd never grow high as this fence, time to drag heavy and slow. But now, it's strange. I'm strange inside. Time has gone so fast, the world so wide." Junior music education major Annina Lopes sings Laurie's song from Aaron Copland's The Tenderland.
The next scene is from one of my favorite operas by Giuseppe Verdi, Falstaff. It's one of his last operas, and it's a comedy. And it is based on a character in Shakespeare's The Merry Wives of Windsor, and also characters in Henry IV. So it's basically, Sir John Falstaff is someone who tries to come on to other people's wives and tries to get money, and so everybody in the show really wants to see him get his comeuppance. And this happens in the last act of the scene. Nannetta is a young girl who would like to marry Fenton, and she's been enlisted amongst many other characters to play a trick on Sir John Falstaff. They're in the woods, and it's dark, and she's playing the part of the Queen of the Fairies. And she talks about the breath of how fairies are ethereal, and you hear their whispering on the wind, and you can see them in the flowers, that their words are the flowers. It's a very lovely melody sung by Lianna Johnson, who's a sophomore vocal performance major. Let's enjoy her performance. Our next selection is actually from a musical theater piece called Lady in the Dark by Kurt Weill. And in this song, My Ship, the protagonist, Liza, who is a very successful fashion editor in New York City, has lots of panic attacks and is unable to gain control of her life. She goes to a psychiatrist, and the story is actually a series of flashbacks and wild dreams, and this song is woven in throughout all of these dreams, and she's not sure what the connection is. She finally remembers that it's a song from her childhood, and by remembering those things, she's able to then set her life to right. So this is actually was a very famous song. It was excerpted and recorded by Judy Garland and other famous artists of the time. And so it's a very simple and lovely song called My Ship, performed by Maya Romaine. The next scene is one of my favorite composers, Gioacchino Rossini. I love his music, it's so fun. This is from the comedy, famous comedy, The Barber of Seville, sung by character Basilio, Don Basilio, who is actually Rosina's music teacher. And Dr. Bartolo, who is Rosina's ward, is interested in marrying her when she comes of age, and so that he can have her dowry. But he's worried that the Count Almaviva actually has his eye on Rosina, and he's saying, how can we, take care of this problem? And Don Basilio comes up with the idea, we could start a rumor in the town, a nasty rumor about the Count, La Calunnia. And he describes how it starts as a little whisper and then gets bigger and bigger, and suddenly, like a cannon roar, it's in everybody's brains and in their ears. This is a fantastic example of what we call the Rossini crescendo, and you can hear that very clearly in the singing of this piece. Lots of fun. This is sung by music education major Timothy Hurtt.
La Calunnia. assai gentile, che insensibile sottile, leggermente dolcemente. Shh, incomincia sussurrar. Piano, piano, terra, terra, sottovoce, sibilando, va scorrendo, va ronzando, nell'orecchie della gente, s'introduce destramente, e le teste di cervelli, fa stordire, fa gonfiar. Alla bocca fiori uscendo, lo schiamazzo va crescendo, prende forza poco a poco. O la giade loco, sembra autunno la tempesta che non sembra la foresta, va fischiando, brandolando e ti fa ragelar. Alla fin la bocca scoppia, si propaga, si raddoppia e produce un'esplosione. Come un colpo di cannone, come un colpo di cannone, un tremoto temporale, un tumulto generale che fa l'aria rimbombare, un tremoto temporale, un tumulto generale che fa l'aria rimbombare. El meschino calunniato, avvilito, calpestato, sotto il pubblico flagello per non solteto crepar. El meschino calunniato, avvilito, calpestato, sotto il pubblico flagello per gran sorte va crepar. El meschino calunniato, avvilito, calpestato, sotto il pubblico flagello per gran sorte va crepar. Il meschino calunniato, avvilito, calpestato, sotto il pubblico flagello per gran sorte va crepar. Sotto il pubblico flagello per gran sorte va crepar. Sotto il pubblico flagello per gran sorte va crepar. Si va crepar, si va crepar, si va
George Gershwin's Porgy and Bess opened on Broadway in 1935. It was groundbreaking in that, for the first time, there was a complete, classically trained African-American cast, a daring artistic decision for the time. The production itself was not a tremendous success, but the beautiful quality of the George Gershwin music led to many productions in the intervening years. One production in 1952 that was a touring production starred Leontine Price, fresh from her student days at Juilliard, William Warfield, Cab Calloway, and a young Maya Angelou. Since then, it has been recognized as one of the crowning achievements of American opera. When the curtain rises, we see Catfish Row, the African-American slum in Charleston, South Carolina. Clara, a young mother, sings a beautiful lullaby to her newborn child. We hear Samara Richardson, a performance major, sing this lullaby, Summertime. It is Christmas Eve in Paris, and the Café Momus is crowded with people eating, drinking, and celebrating. Well, virtual people. You won't see them, but they're there. A beautiful, young, free-spirited woman enters. This is Musetta. And what does she see? Marcello, a former on-again, off-again lover. She decides to see if she can win him back. She sings to the people there. When I walk down the street, everyone stops and stares at my beauty. From my head to my foot, I can feel the desire, and it makes me happy. And you, she points to Marcello, you who remember, you long, and I can tell that you are just dying inside. This is Musetta's Waltz, sung by Izzy Schellbaum, a senior performance major from Giacomo Puccini's La Bohème.
Oh
Street Scene is an opera by Kurt Weill. It depicts 24 hours in the life of the residents of a single tenement building in Hell's Kitchen in New York in the 1930s. Rose Morant, who is the teenage daughter of one of the families, comes home rather late one evening, being escorted by her boss. He is trying to seduce her and offers her an apartment of her own, perhaps a role in a Broadway show. He offers her the moon, and she says, what good would the moon be if the right one didn't share its beams? What good would dreams come true be if love wasn't in those dreams? I don't want diamonds, I don't want pearls. I want someone to love just me, to have and to hold. Junior Crystal Cosme, music education major, sings What Good Would the Moon Be? From Street Scene by Kurt Weill.
I've looked in the windows at diamonds, they're beautiful, but they're cold. I've seen Broadway stars in fur coats that cost a fortune, so I'm told. I guess I'd look nice in diamonds, and sables might add to my charms. But if someone I don't care for would buy them, I'd rather have two loving arms. What good would the moon be unless the right one shared its beams? What good would dreams come true be if love wasn't in those dreams? And a primrose path, what would be the fun of walking down a path like that without the right one? What good would the night be unless the right lips whisper low, kiss me, darling, kiss me, while evening stars still glow? No, it won't be a primrose path for me. No, it won't be diamonds or gold, but maybe it will be someone who loved me, someone who loved just me. Tove and Tove.
This next scene is from an opera by Mozart called Così fan tutte. And we actually did a full production of Così in the spring of 2019. This is sung by the character Despina, who is a maid in the household of the sisters Fiordiligi and Dorabella. The two sisters have learned that their lovers are going to be sent off to war. They're so distraught that they're ready to kill themselves, and Despina, overhearing this, says, "Why, that's absolutely silly. Why would you distress yourself over that? We all know how unfaithful men can be." And so this is In Uomini e Soldati, sung by Ariana Granda, who is a music education major.
In uomini, in soldati, sperare fedeltà. In uomini sperare fedeltà. In soldati sperare fedeltà. Fedeltà, fedeltà. Non vi fate sentire per carità, non vi fate sentire per carità. Di passo simili son tutti quanti. dolci sguardi, facce ingannevoli, fazze baciardi, sono primare, or qualità, sono primare, or qualità, e noi non amano che il continetto, poi ci dispregiano, negan ci affetto, ne va dal bar per chieder pietà, ne va dal bar per chieder pietà, chieder pietà, Abbiamo femmine d'ugual nonnetta, questa malefica rosa discreta, amiam per comodo per vanità, amiam per comodo per vanità. Amiam per comodo per vanità, la 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 la, amiam per comodo per vanità. Amiam per comodo per vanità, la 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 la, amiam per comodo per vanità, amiam per comodo per vanità, amiam per comodo per vanità.
Our next scene is from the operetta repertoire. This is A Simple Sailor Newly Born from HMS Pinafore by Gilbert and Sullivan. This aria is sung by the character Josephine, who's the daughter of Captain Corcoran, and she is promised to be married to Sir Joseph, who is much older than she is, and she really doesn't want to marry him. She actually has her eye on a young sailor, Rafe Rexstraw. So in this aria, she's torn with whether she should go for the man who has well means or follow her heart. O God of love and God of reason, she says, which should I follow? So let's listen to performance major Sidney Poole sing A Simple Sailor from HMS Pinafore.
The oars creep on apace, my guilty heart is quaking. Oh, that I might retrace the step that I am taking. It's folly, 'twere easy to be showing what I am giving up, and whither going. On the one hand, Papa's luxurious home, hung with ancestral armor and old roses, carved oak and tapestry from distant Rome, red, blue, and white Venetian finger glosses, rich oriental rugs, luxurious sofa pillows, and everything that isn't old from Gillows. And on the other, a dark and dingy room in some back street with stuffy children crying, where organs yelling, clacking, housewives fume, and clothes are hanging out all day or drying, with one crack-looking glass to see a face in, and dinner served up in a pudding of you twain shall my poor heart obey. A simple syllable, unlettered and unknown. No golden ring can he impart, no wealth of house or land, no fortune save his trusty heart, and on his right hand his trusty heart and right hand. O God of love and God of reason, say which of you twain shall my poor heart obey? God of love, God of reason, God of reason, God of love, say which shall my poor heart obey? O God of love and God of reason, say, O God of love and God of reason, say, which of you twain shall my poor heart obey? My heart obey. Which shall my heart obey?
In mythology, Jupiter, the king of the gods, falls in love with Semele, a mortal girl. He takes her away to a secret hideaway where his jealous wife Juno won't find out. Semele awakens from a wonderful dream where she and Jupiter were making love. But alas, to her horror, she finds he is not there. "O sleep," she says, "why dost thou leave me? Let me sleep again. Give me back my wandering love." This is from an opera by Handel, who, strangely enough, named it Semele. It is sung by Sarah Gilfoil, a junior music education student. A pants role in opera is a role where the part of a young man is sung by a woman. Carabino is such a role. Carabino is 16 years old, something like that, a young man, that a terrible thing has happened to. It's called puberty. He says, I don't know who I am. I don't know what I'm doing. 1 minute I'm hot, 1 minute I'm cold. Every woman makes me blush. Every woman makes my heart beat. I talk about love all the time. I talk about love when I'm awake. I talk about love when I'm dreaming. And if there's nobody around for me to talk about love with, I talk to myself. Carleigh Toogood was a junior double major in music education and music therapy, sings Non so più from The Marriage of Figaro by Mozart.
Non so più cosa son, cosa faccio, ho rifuoco, ora son, non righiaccio, o mi donna che dà di calore, o mi donna mi fa palpitar, o mi donna mi fa palpitar, o mi donna mi fa palpitar. Solo ai nomi d'amore di letto, mi si turba, mi sa terapetto,
This next scene is from an opera called The Telephone by Giancarlo Menotti and was written in 1947. Well, back in 1947, telephones looked a lot different than they do today. And in this particular scene, Lucy, who loves to talk on the telephone, is in her home, and her fiancé, Ben, is trying to propose to her, but she keeps answering the phone. And he eventually leaves the house and goes to a payphone and proposes to her over the phone. That's how the story is really, but we're taking the aria out of context, and since we can't have a Ben on stage to sing to, I decided to have Lucy sing her aria in the kitchen. So here is Jenna Migliorino, who is a sophomore double major of vocal performance and civil engineering, singing Lucy's aria, Hello, Margaret, It's You.
Hello, oh Margaret, it's you. I am so glad you called. I was just thinking of you. It's been a long tonight. No, my dear, I'm not feeling very well. Where? I wish I could be there. I'm afraid I must not. Hello. What did you say, my darling? What did you say? Hello. Please speak louder. I heard the fire sing. Jane and Paul are going to get married next July. Don't you think that is the funniest thing you ever heard? I know. Of course. And how are you? And how is John? And how is Jean? You must tell them that I send them my love. And how is Ursula? And how is Natalie? And how is Rosalie? I hope she's gotten over her cold. And how is your mother? And how is your father? And how is dear little Granny? Goodbye, my dear, goodbye. I am so glad you called. I was just thinking of you. It's been a long time since you called me. Yes, you already told me that. No, my darling, of course I won't forget. Yes, goodbye, my dear, goodbye. Yes, my darling, goodbye. Yes. That's the funniest thing I ever heard. And how are you? And Bets and Pop and Sarah and Sam? You must tell them that I send them my love. And how is the pussycat? How is the dog? Oh, I'm so glad. Goodbye. Yes, Margaret. All right, goodbye. All right, goodbye. Now, Margaret, goodbye. So long.
Rigoletto by Giuseppe Verdi was based on a play by Victor Hugo, Le Roi s'amuse, or The King Amuses Himself. When the play was first done in the theater, the censors in Paris were incensed of the portrayal of the King of France as a lecherous, amoral, licentious womanizer. They thought that it was such a great insult to the real King of France that they pulled the play from the theater and it was not done again for 50 years. Verdi and his librettist also had trouble with the critics in Italy, but by making some changes, including moving the location from Paris to the city of Mantua and making the king into a duke, the anonymous Duke of Mantua, it was able to be produced. It was a great success at its premiere and has gone on to be one of Verdi's most popular operas. When the curtain goes up, we see the Duke of Mantua coming on with his courtiers, and he sings, "Questa o quella per me pari sono." This one or that one for me, they're all the same. I can love this one today, I can love that one tomorrow, and the next day, who knows? Nothing is going to stand in my way if I want a woman. Michael Krasting, a junior performance major, sings Questa o quella from Verdi's Rigoletto.
Questa o quella per me pari sono, quant'altre d'intorno mi vedo. mio cuore l'impero non cielo meglio aduna che d'altra beltà. Ma questo ravvenenza in qual dono di che il fato rifiora la vita. So di questa mi intorna gradita, forse un'altra, domani lo sarà un'altra, forse un'altra, domani lo sarà. La costanza tirana del cuore detestiamo il quamorbo, cormobro crudele. So chi vuole si servi fedele, non va amor, no, si non v'è libertà. Te mariti il geloso furore, dagli amanti le smanie, terrido, a cotargo, i ciei toghi di sfido, se mi punge, una qualche beltà, se mi punge una qualche beltà.
The next piece was composed by famous Baroque composer George Friedrich Handel from his opera Julius Caesar, or Giulio Cesare. The character Cleopatra and her brother Sesto are trying to avenge the murder of their father Pompeo by Ptolemy. And she has enlisted the help of Julius Caesar. She seduced him because he's so powerful, hoping that he would make her queen of Egypt, and with her army she would defeat Ptolemy. Well, through treachery, that didn't happen exactly, and Julius Caesar escaped and is thought to be dead and drowned, and her armies were overtaken. So she's now thrown into prison. She thinks that Julius Caesar is dead. She doesn't think that her brother is going to be able to help her at all, and she's desolate. She sings the aria, Piangerò la sorte mia, I will weep over my fate, such a cruel fate. And then anger overtakes her, and she says, yes, so I will die, but I will haunt day and night those tyrants that put me here and killed my lover. And then she collapses again in despair, singing again, Piangerò la sorte mia. This is freshman music education major Allison Bagliani.
Un giorno perdo faste grandezze, hai fatto reo, Cesare, il mio bel nome, e forse stendo, Cornelia e Sesto e Ermesson, ne sono dormi soccorso. tirano e notte giorno fatta spettro agiterò. Fatta spettro agiterò. Ma poi morna d'un intorno e alterano e notte e giorno fatta spettro agiterò. Fatta spettro
Leonard Bernstein's Candide opened on Broadway in 1956. Although the premiere was not a success, the value of the music has been recognized ever since, especially one number. Any soprano that can sing the stratospheric high notes of Glitter and Be Gay takes it as her very own. It is sung by Cunegonde, a girl who was raised rich and beautiful and a little spoiled. Unfortunately, through the vagaries of war, she is beaten, raped, disemboweled, and killed. Not necessarily in that order. Miraculously, a few scenes later, she reappears, magically put back together. She is the mistress of two rich and powerful men in Paris, who each share her on alternate days. She sings Glitter and Be Gay, mourning her loss of honor, her degradation, her shame, but oh my, those jewels she gets in return are beautiful. Junior performance major Celine Capriati sings Glitter and Be Gay from Leonard Bernstein's Candide.
shield me from reproach. Can the purest diamond purify my name? And yet, of course, these treatments are endearing. I'm so glad my sapphire is a star. I shine like a 20-carat TV. If I'm not pure, at least my jewels are. Fino, fino, I'll take their diamond necklace and show my noble stuff. By being gay and necklace. Observe how bravely I conceal the shame I
And so now we come to the end of our program this evening, sort of. And we are finished with our student performances. We didn't mention this earlier, but Mr. Jon Garrison, after 22 years, is going to be leaving us this semester, and he's going to retire, and we wish him well. And I'm not the only one that would like to wish you well, Mr. Garrison. I know, Jon, you're watching at home, and there are students and staff members and faculty members and alumni who have sent in some video messages for you. So if you all stay tuned, we'll segue into this celebration of your career here at Rowan University. This is for you, Mr. Garrison.
Hi, Jon. I think I've told you about this before, but one of my favorite memories and first memories of you was actually when you were a soloist with the orchestra and you were sitting right here in this seat. And I was so amazed because as you came out and walked out on the stage and sat, you had such a presence. You just owned the hall. You hadn't even started singing yet, and just your presence commanded the entire hall. And then, of course, you sang, and your command even went up from there. It was just wonderful. But the presence that I think I'm going to miss most, and that I'm most thankful for, is your steady, quiet presence to the department and to our students. It's seeing you coming down the hallway early in the morning when you've had a far longer drive than I did, and your excited good morning and your wonderful wit and humor. But most of all, the presence you've had to so many students and to our vocal division and so many wonderful operas, productions. So thank you for everything that you've done. It's been a privilege and a pleasure to be your colleague, and we look forward to staying in touch with you. And we wish you all the best. And again, we are just thankful for your presence in so many ways over all of these past years. Thank you and congratulations.
Happy retirement from your original studio, which I think was me and Michael and Kristen Jan and probably somebody else that I'm forgetting. So one memory that has nothing to do with singing, I brought you coffee very early on, and I put cream and sugar in it. And you did not drink it because you said, quote, if I wanted melted ice cream, I would get melted ice cream. But more, that was just such a safe space to be. And you really helped me grow as a human being. Particularly what stands out is when I was Dido and the advice you gave me on how to sing when I'm laid and to how to die of poisoning in a very subtle way. So I'm really excited for you that you get to spend more time with your actual Kristins and Michaels. And yeah, good luck.
Jon, when you joined the faculty, all of us who love the lyric theater were excited that you would be sharing your knowledge of the voice and your experience in the great opera houses of the world with our students. But we didn't know yet just how generous you would be with the department and with our opera house here in Glassboro. Our students were privileged to learn from you and over our many productions together. I was honored to count myself among them. Oh, one other thing. Now that you have more free time, remember that at our age, the short game is where you really improve your score. Wishing you all the best, and hope to see you on the links.
Mr. Jon Garrison, I cannot believe that you, sir, are finding your way out of these doors before I am. I am so excited for you that this stage has come to an end and that you are moving on. And I cannot say thank you enough to all of the things that you've done while you've been here. For me and my colleagues, my peers, who have all been touched and so greatly impacted by your work. I remember when I first came to Rowan and I saw that you were going to be my voice teacher, I immediately ran to your Wikipedia page to bring up this lovely image and thought, hell, how am I ever going to live up to the credits listed below? But you always encouraged me, you pushed my boundaries, you taught me how to be a better singer, and more importantly, you taught me how to be a true performer. You gave me performance opportunities that stretched me immensely, like Tamino in Magic Flute, to Pluto in Orpheus in the Underworld, all because you pretended like opera was mandatory for me when it was never really mandatory. But I thank you because it really grew my love of the art, and it was through you. I'll never forget, we are sitting in choir, our concert's about to begin, and we're performing Misa Criolla with the percussion ensemble, and our friend Carlos on guitar. And we're all getting this sense now that it's about 3 minutes to showtime of where the hell is Jon Garrison? And of course, in your very nature, you walk on maybe 2 minutes before performance, clear your throat, looking dapper in your sweater vest and pocket watch, and you blow us away. Always professional, always relatable, always inspiring. Thank you for being who you were. Thank you for making such an impact on Rowan University. And to be honest with you, when I say you made me a better performer, one thing that I had always admired, and I still do very much admire, is no matter what the rep was that we were working on, you spoke with such empathy. The way you would tell the story of a song, I don't think you got through one explanation without either a laugh or a tear in your eye. And the empathy was authentic, and it meant something, and it really helped shape me into the performer I want to be and the person I want to be. You will be missed greatly. I'm sure everyone here will tell you. But I just want you to know on a personal level how much you've impacted me, way beyond the classroom. And I knew no matter what it was, you always had my back and were supportive. So thank you. Congratulations that you are moving on and you get to be back to where you truly belong, not on the Rowan stage, but at the bottom of this dog pile. Continue to enjoy the rest of your time here at Rowan, and I wish you a wonderful, exciting, and fruitful retirement. Thank you for being who you are. this school has been impacted and touched by you, and I can't say thank you enough. So good luck, and thank you.
Hey, John. Gonna miss you, man. Thinking about all those good times we had in Dean Witten's office, just killing time doing nothing. Anyway, good luck. And I hope that everything works good for you and that, you remember some of the things that are worth remembering. Gonna miss you, pal. Whoa.
Hi, John. It's Marian. I'm here in my office, and I was just thinking the other day about when I'm working with a student, and after the process of learning all the rhythms and the notes, and we're getting the song up on its feet, and we're trying to get our students to create their own art with the song and tell the story, get inside the character, and energize that creative energy. Sometimes our students struggle with that, and I was just thinking of you because in my office I have a picture, and I don't know who took this picture or when it was taken, but whenever I have a student who's struggling like that, I just go like this and gesture to the wall behind me. And now I'm going to show you what's on the wall behind me. And I say to the students, now look at that face. Can you tell me, is there any doubt that that performer is fully engaged into the emotions and the storytelling behind that particular piece of art? So you frequently come into my teaching, John, and I enjoy having that picture there to reference, and it's been my pleasure to perform with you and to experience that kind of passion and energy. First time in all the faculty recitals that we've done and the summer camp recitals that we've done. We've done every conceivable tenor-soprano duet there was written, and some I probably didn't have any business doing, but I got to perform them with a world-class tenor and a wonderful, giving, professional artist on the stage, and so I'll always cherish those memories. And when I leave this studio myself someday, I'm going to take that picture with me, so that I can always remember those great memories of performing with you and what it was like to be on stage with such a consummate artist. And I'll cherish those memories forever. Thanks.
Hi, Dara Maffetone here, class of 2016. I just want to wish you, Jon Garrison, the most wonderful and happy retirement. When I think of you, I think of joy and laughter and professionalism all wrapped up into one. There's a special memory that I have of the year we did Carmen Quintet in our scenes program. I was terrified of the French because, as you knew then, during our French class that we had, I was not good at French. So we worked really hard on the French, as well as our blocking and our staging, our music, our costumes. We had everything together, and you helped to guide us to be the best quintet we could be. But I was worried that I wasn't holding my own with my French. So right before the performance, I came to you and I said, Mr. Garrison, I'm so worried that I'm not going to be able to do this right. And you looked at me and you said, Dara, you may not be confident with your French, but Carmen is. And you walked away. And in that moment, I went on stage and performed the best that I ever had, because you reminded me that I was Carmen in that moment. I wasn't me. And you did little things like that for so many students and faculty, I'm sure, all across Rowan and throughout your career there. I want you to know how appreciated you are for everything you've done. So I wish you a joyous and wonderful retirement, and best of luck to you.
Hi, Mary Fajardo Jenkins here, and I just wanted to wish you, Mr. Garrison, a very happy and healthy retirement. It is so well deserved, but you will be so very missed at Rowan University. I know any student, especially myself, is very lucky to have had the pleasure to work with you as your voice student. I know that if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have the appreciation that I have for opera and classical music today, and I owe that all to you. So here's to you, and I hope you have a restful retirement, and here's to the next chapter in your life. Cheers!
Hi John, Lauren Ethianka here. I just want to thank you for being an incredible colleague and professor for these past 7 years that I have known you. I remember when I was hired at Rowan University 7 years ago, I was so nervous about meeting you and working beside you. But the first week I knew it would all be okay because you were kind and humble and fun. And let's face it, you wore the best socks I've ever seen. Every week to divisional, it was just a hoot. I know the students really loved their time with you in opera. You made the environment fun and playful and exciting for them. So thank you so much for all of your contributions to your colleagues and your students. Best of luck to you as you start the next chapter of your life, and we will most certainly miss you here at Rowan University.
Hi, Mr. Garrison. Congratulations on your retirement. Best wishes on this next chapter of your life. You have more than earned it. I am truly sad for all of the future students who won't have the opportunity to be under your direction. I can remember the first couple of sessions that we had together and how you found out that I was from Moldova, and you immediately pulled out a piece by Sergei Rachmaninoff and said, I have the first piece that we were going to learn together in studio. And that meant a lot to me because you embraced and celebrated part of my culture, and that means a lot to me. Thank you so much for teaching me that music is more than just proper technique and correct notes, but it's about emoting emotion and creating a story and experience for the audience. I have taken that advice and those skills with me all these years later. So thank you. Thank you. Best wishes again. Bye.
Hi, John. My name is Amy Schumacher, now Amy Paz, and I was music education voice major, class of 2001. And I had the privilege of being in your very first class of students, your first semester at Rowan in 1999 when you came. And I only had a few short years with you, but they were very impactful. And when I heard you were retiring after 21 years, I couldn't believe it because I said, I don't even think I was 21 years old when I studied with you. And it's just amazing how time flies, and here we are. And so I wanted to share some of my 2 quick memories that I had with you. I remember the joy and the professionalism and the excitement that you brought to the department. And one of my greatest memories at my time at Rowan and my time studying with you was actually getting to perform with you on stage. And I don't remember if it was a departmental recital or an evening recital, but we performed, and just being on the stage with you was something super unique because you just had this energy where you just commanded the stage and just had such a wonderful presence, and it made us rise up and just suck in that energy. And then my second memory of you was on my senior recital. As we were preparing, we were kind of looking for some songs to round it about, and you said, well, what about Leonard Bernstein's A Cycle for 5 Kid Songs? And so we wound up closing out my senior recital with I Hate Music and A Big Indian and A Little Indian, which I probably never would have picked, but it brought such a unique humor to it, and you helped me sell it, and it was kind of cool. So I just wanted to say congratulations to you on your retirement. I wish you all the best, and thank you for those memories.
Hi, John. It's Chris. I'm really excited for you and your retirement. Congratulations. What an incredible life you've lived. I wanted to take just a second and share 2 things. The first being how meaningful you were to me at my interview for this job. You probably made me feel more comfortable than just about anyone else. And you said something to me that resonated pretty strongly. You said, what Rowan needs is for someone to come in and to take ownership and to stick around. So I hope that I have done you well in that area. And the second thing, which to me is most important, is how much it means to watch you be vulnerable and emotional and show your true self when it comes to the music and your students. You have not only told me, but you have shown me that it is okay to be vulnerable and emotional and real with your students. I am so thankful to have had your mentorship in that regard. Good luck and have a hell of a good time. Martinis on me.
Hi, John. Karen Hofstad here. I was thinking about where we first met and trying to recall, and then it came back to me. There was this young, fledgling opera singer, me, going down to one of her first opera gigs in Palm Beach, Florida. I was singing the role of Donna Anna in Don Giovanni, and I remember the first night there was a welcome party where we would meet all the cast and the crew and everyone who was involved. And so I was very curious to see who I would be singing with. And I arrived, and across the room was a very good-looking, tall, elegantly dressed man. And I remember thinking, I wonder who that is. And recall you walking up to me, introducing yourself, and lo and behold, you were actually my tenor. So I thought, I have hit the jackpot. I mean, he's actually taller than I am. And then I learned that you could sing and sing really well. You know, such an elegant musician and beautiful singer and wonderful on stage. And you were such a kind, generous colleague to this young beginner, and sort of taught me the ropes in many ways, you know, of how I could interpret Donna Anna and sort of get around little difficulties in the staging. And so I was very excited to see that you were a member of the Rowan voice faculty when I joined the faculty. Oh goodness, it's going on 4 years now. And again, I saw you, and you immediately took me under your wing. You walked me around campus, gave me a tour, took me to have my computer set up, waited for me that entire time, walked me back, and have since then been just the most supportive, kind, lovely colleague with still that same wit and just a pleasure to be around and a pleasure to work with. And it's been wonderful. Of course, I've seen you on stage, worked with you on stage, but to see you work with the students was also a revelation for me as well, because your love of the art form comes through, as well as your love of the students and your deep caring and your kindness. And I will forever remember that and try to emulate it. So I wish you all the best in this new chapter of your life. I do hope that you get to take that trip to Paris that was unfortunately canceled because of COVID, and I hope you have so much wonderful quality time with your family and all those grandchildren, and hope our paths cross again very soon. We hope you'll come and visit. Take care, John.
Ah, Mr. Jon Garrison. So you are going to retire. George and I retired from active classroom teaching at Rowan quite some time ago.
One of the great things about retirement is that you have more time to spend at the aspects of life that you really enjoy. Though each of us had a career in art and business, one of our joys has always been singing. So after we retired at the turn of the century, each spring found us back on the campus of Rowan University.
learning our singing parts and the blocking, discovering the storylines and our characterizations for yet another opera. Year after year, we showed up, while the younger singers cycled out. By graduation, of course, the Neffs, perpetual students.
As community members of the Rowan Opera Company, we got to sing, perform, and explore many of the operas and operettas.
And soon you were there too, quietly watching, coaching, giving us tips, sometimes directing. Each year you welcomed us, supported us, encouraged us, even though we were far from your real consideration, just the perennial other grown-ups in the room.
Thank you for sharing your gifts and experience with your students and your collegiality with us. We hope that you will find as rewarding an activity as we did to fill your retirement.
Jon, we wish you the best of everything in your retirement.
Congratulations, Jon. It's been a pleasure working with you these 20 years, and I wish you all the best in the future.
Hello, Mr. Garrison. It's William Marshall, class of 2017. Congratulations and happy retirement. One of my favorite memories while I was at Rowan University was our production of Mozart's Magic Flute. You stage directed the production and told me on one of the first rehearsal nights that my character Papageno would never enter the stage from the same location twice. And boy, did you keep your promise. I remember entering from stage left, right, on the stage floor, up and down stairs, through the audience, and even outside, down into the boiler room, into the pit orchestra, and climbing out on a ladder. That production helped me grow so much as a performer and an actor. I truly cannot thank you enough. Happy retirement and congratulations, you've earned it.
Congratulations!
Hi, Mr. Garrison.
What up, G?
Congratulations on your retirement. We are both so thankful that we got to have you as a teacher, as a mentor in our lives. I'm so thankful that I got to be in the studio for 4 years and I got to have just the best experience learning from you.
Hey, I want to thank you for teaching me a stage presence and also letting me come study with you when I was studying my Schubert and my D Stern and I guess I got to be a voice student for like a whole semester and a half that year, so we appreciate you.
We love you. Congratulations. Enjoy the time of your retirement. Spend time with your family.
Drink whiskey.
Relax. And have a wonderful retirement. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Hi, Mr. Garrison. Fatima Peters here, your lovely costume designer at Rowan University. Thank you so much for all your service. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your creativity. What incredible direction. Thank you for allowing me to create, giving me space to travel in opera land. And so thank you. I love you. I miss you. And I wish you all the best of retirement. I thank you and Marian Stieber for all you have done for me. So enjoy your family. And mwah! Love from your Brazilian costume designer, Fatima Peters.
Hi, Professor Garrison. It's Chelina Capriati. So I just wanted to say that it has been an absolute pleasure getting to work with you throughout the IPA classes, our diction classes, and especially Glitter and Be Gay. You have been such a wonderful, wonderful asset to the music department, and I just wanted to let you know how deeply grateful and thankful we are that you have spent your time here with us. You will be very sorely missed, and I wish you a lot of happiness and health throughout your retirement. Much love. Bye.
Hello, Kyle Allen. I was in the class of 06, so I would have started with Mr. Garrison in his studio in 2002. So I was one of his early groups of students. Anyone who knows me, brevity is not exactly my strong suit, so I will try to keep this as succinct and focused as I can. What to say about Jon Garrison? And yes, after nearly 20 years, it's still odd calling you Jon, but that's okay. We're gonna get past that and move on.
So many different memories and different stories and conversations we had over the years. Certainly, obviously, all the music, all the songs, the operas, the arias, the multiple song cycles we did, which were a lot of fun, but at times painful, I'm sure, for both of us. But they were wonderful kind of achievements in the end. Both the recitals and just all of the different times, certainly, is a lot of good memories and a lot of good lessons, both in music and in life in general. One of the early lessons that I'm probably never going to forget was a very simple lesson. It was one of my earliest ones, actually. And you had brought in the inner crank music box from a little jewelry box. And you would turn the crank and it'd go against the pins and it'd play its little melody. And you could hear it, but it was, kind of faint and demure. And then you'd put it up against the side of the piano. And as soon as it had the resonating chamber, it would fill the room with this full and vibrant song. And it was a simple lesson, but an effective one, of the importance of having a resonating chamber and really giving your voice somewhere to grow and project itself. And you had a knack for being able to do things like that, just give these concepts in such a way that it was relatable and something that we could all pick up on and be able to incorporate that and run with it. You had that ability to do that. That was very effective. The other thing which you certainly were very gifted at is your skills as an orator and as a performer. And being able to take a moment in time, that moment in whatever song or opera, and be able to, almost like a photographic picture, and just zooming in with your lens, going closer and closer into what was happening with the story as a whole, getting down to that act, all the characters, the emotions, that scene, that song, your character, and just the important points of that aria. And you were able to really build that and talk about it in such a way that you had the audience in the palm of your hand. And we were all on the edge of our seat waiting for how that was going to resolve or what was going to happen next. And whether it was in the studio or whether it was one of your recitals or one of the opera scenes programs where you might be explaining a scene before it's going to happen, or whatever that was, you always had that innate ability to be able to do that and have everybody just on the edge of our seat waiting. I'm sure several people, many of us, will certainly have that memory of a moment or two, which you certainly did that. I think you were always a very emotional and passionate person when it came to music and everything. And me being a very emotional person myself, that was one of the things that I think we really had a connection and related to each other very well for. So whether it was all of the talks and conversations during lessons, the late night rehearsals, whether it was the after events with casts and crew and other teachers and directors at Italian Fair or Clancy's or one of the many other establishments that we frequented all the time. Just so many good memories. Conversations with you, conversations with Lee, conversations with everyone, and just lots of good life lessons and certainly life memories. So, Jon, Mr. Garrison, first of all, thank you very much for everything that you've given me and all of your students for the last 20 plus years. Congratulations on a well-earned and deserved retirement. I wish you all the best. I hope very soon you'll have lots of time with Lee and the kids and all the grandkids. And hopefully after COVID blows over, maybe you and I can get together and catch up and reminisce a little bit. So all the best. Take care. Have a good one.
Hi, Mr. Garrison. This is Matt Fusa here from Florida. Just wishing you congratulations on your retirement and thanking you for all the great collaboration we've had in designing the set for the Magic Flute and all the work you and I and Ms. Stieber have done together with the different opera productions. They really helped build my portfolio and helped build my career. I hope you have a wonderful retirement and enjoy the well-deserved time off from all this madness. Have a spectacular party, and thank you again.
Mr. Garrison, thank you so much for everything in college. I had the best times every time I was with you. You made me a better actor, a better singer, a better everything. There was never a dull moment, and Rowan was extremely lucky to have you, and I really hope you enjoy your retirement.
Hi, Professor Garrison. It's Barbara Dever, wishing you the best blessings and a great time on your retirement coming up. I can't say enough about what you've given to the students at Rowan, to the opera company. Everything that you've been involved with at Rowan since I've been there has just been wonderful to witness and to see the rewards of the work that you've done with the students at Rowan over the years. I say bravo, continue on, never stop singing. I'm sure you won't. And it's just been a pleasure to have you as a colleague and to work with you at Rowan University these past few years. All the best to you and your family, and thank you again for the work that you've done and the gifts you've given to all of the students.
Hi, Mr. Garrison. Michael Trotta here. Super fond memories of being behind with my voice lessons. I think I started late, and the only way that I was going to be able to graduate on time was if we made up lessons during the summer. So I actually went out and got a job. I didn't even know if you knew this. I went out and I got a job, and I drove up to Englewood every week, and we had a double lesson every week, and I think you were even kind enough to give me lunch. And so I spent the whole week working to make money for these lessons and drive up there, and it was great because we wound up, I think we did 2 semesters of lessons in one summer, and I was able to test out of those the following fall, graduate on time, and that made just the biggest difference in my world. I think it allowed me to graduate a year earlier, which was just awesome. And since then it's just been wonderful to always remember that most singers always sing below the pitch and behind the beat. So I'm always, when I'm thinking about it musically, I'm thinking sing right at the beginning of the beat and a little bit sharp, and you'll be ready to go. Hey, thanks for everything that you do, and thanks for everything that you did for me. Have a good one and enjoy your retirement.
Hey, Mr. Garrison, it's John Lydon here. In case you didn't realize who was behind the technical scenes on this, but I'm pretty sure you figured that out pretty quickly. Just saying, congratulations. You're an amazing person. You're an even more amazing singer, an even more amazing person who told me to stop moving around on stage or you were going to put nails through my feet. In case you don't remember, that was when I was Papageno back in 2000. I appreciate that. I think about that every time I'm on stage or performing at church or in a concert or anything like that, because sometimes I might be defined as a little too ebullient. But just so you have an idea of how much Marian and I have been working on this, not to indicate that, there's everybody's favorite photo of me on my screen, but there's a whole lot of stuff that she and I have been going through, and quite frankly, sir, you're worth it. So again, congratulations. We're gonna miss you.
Hi, this is Michael McEntee, class of 2013, and I was a vocal performance major in Jon Garrison's studio from 2009 to 2013. Out of all the memories I could possibly share with all of you about Jon Garrison, there are too many to count, but there are 2 that come into mind in particular. Number 1 was my second ever lesson with Jon Garrison. Here I am, vocal performance major, freshman, thinking classical music, it's going to be a breeze. I mean, I did Jean Valjean in high school. I'm great. Walk in, I sing the selection that he gave me the week before, and his response was to look at me for a minute, elbow on the piano, sitting on the piano bench, and then he goes, "Michael, do you see those dots with the lines coming out of them on the page? Those are called notes. You should learn how to read them." Any ego I had was now gone, and I appreciate that because it put me down to the base so that Mr. Garrison could build me into a better performer overall. And I appreciate that honesty in both my skills and the potential of what my skills could be, because it made me into a better singer and a better performer. The second memory was in 2012. Rowan Opera Company were performing La Clemenza di Tito by Mozart. I am starring in the title role along with Travis Washington. We're sharing the role. He was also a performer in the vocal performance program at the time. My night to premiere the role, I'm sitting there and I'm freaking out because this semester in particular was not a good one for me. I had a family event happen that kind of sent me personally into the skids. I was not focused on anything in college at the time, and imposter syndrome was going mad. I didn't think that I was good enough. I didn't think that I had the skills to perform to the quality that my professors and my fellow students wanted me to perform at. And I was sitting there in the dressing room in the toga and the crown, and I was thinking, I don't think I can do this. I don't think this is going to be good at all. This is going to be a disaster. And then in walks Jon Garrison. He hands me an envelope, and he looks me in the eye and he goes, break a leg. And he walks back over out of the dressing room to sit in the audience. And I look at this letter, I open it, and I read it. It's a small note, and it says, Michael, with your height, your voice, your talent, and your focus, you can command the stage. Feel it, do it, enjoy it. Mozart would be proud. I am. JG. I put the letter down, took a deep breath, walked out on stage, was the Emperor of Rome for 2 hours, and then I walked back after my bow and I realized I did it. I went out there and I performed the show and it was great. And it was because of Jon Garrison and that feel it, do it, enjoy it. It made me center myself into the performance, into the idea that I am here to be in an opera. I've worked through the material. I know the material. And I'm going to be great. And I'm going to make all the people who came to see us enjoy what they came to see. And I cherish that advice every single day because it helps me center myself in everything that I do. Whether it's in an office environment or whether it's going out and still performing in musical theater, or it's starting up a voiceover career. You got to feel it, you got to do it, you got to enjoy it. And I cherish that advice so much that I actually kept the letter and I've hung it up in my office in a place where I can make eye contact with it every day so I can say it to myself before I start the day. So to conclude, thank you, Mr. Garrison. Thank you, Jon, for your many years of service, not just to Rowan University, but to me as well. I will cherish our time together, and I wish you the best and most wonderful retirement possible. I hope it's full of cheeseburgers and beer and gin that is frozen just enough so it comes out like syrup. That is how you taught me, is the most perfect way to drink gin. So, thank you, Jon. Best retirement. Feel it, do it, enjoy it.
So, Jon, I guess you know just as well as anybody that I enjoy having the final word. So I'm going to end our video tribute this evening with some personal notes of my own. 22 years ago, the administration of the music department and the College of Performing Arts made two great decisions. And because of those decisions, you and I have gotten to work together here in the voice division. And your contributions to the voice division as a member of the voice faculty and artist in residence and co-director of the opera with me have just been invaluable. I was looking at my computer the other day and I saw all these files that were translations that you had done, your own personal translations, and surtitles that you had done for all the operas we'd done here. And I've kept all those files, and we will be keeping them and using them again to benefit our future students. But as I was thinking in a more personal note, I just feel like you have been the calm in my storm. The storm that happens every semester, which is, getting through a production. And I frankly, I don't know what I would have done without you there. I can't even fathom it. You've experienced opera at the highest level, the Met and internationally. And it's that professionalism, that perspective, that calmness, and that supreme kindness that has been my anchor all of these 22 years. Frankly, I'm not sure that I'm emotionally ready to let go of it, but I am, on the other side, just totally thrilled for you, thrilled to celebrate with you this great career, performing career as an artist and as an educator. And we've been, you and I, fortunate to work with these fabulous students over all of these years. And I know that you have found that particularly gratifying. And I've watched, as I've sent students to you a scene to work on, the students always come back enriched, enlivened, with their eyes opened more. And that's thanks to you and your passion for this art. So as I'm sad to see you go, I am thrilled for you. I want the best. We all wish the best for you in the future, everything good that life has to offer, spending time with your family and endless rounds of golf. And so we wish you all the best from the bottom of our hearts, and we can't say thank you enough. So with that, we say we'll miss you. We love you, and thank you, Jon. Good night.
From the Rowan Opera Company,
we love you, Mr.